Today on Tight Loops, Tight Lines, we are fly fishing the world-famous Big Falls in Newfoundland, Canada, in search of Atlantic salmon.
The Humber River is one of the greatest salmon rivers in the world. When conditions are right, it can be epic.
Big Falls is located in Sir Richard Squires Memorial Provincial Park. It is on the west coast of the island portion of Newfoundland and Labrador, about a 40-minute drive from Deer Lake Airport.
We're going to spend a few days fishing here. We've had a really dry spring with very little rain. Although it's only June, the river conditions look like it's August month.
There's rain in the forecast, so we're going to camp here for a few days and hope that the river rises and the fish show up.
The Humber River stretches 153 kilometers, reaching from Grossmore National Park to Corner Brooks Bay of Islands.
That's a lot of water to cover. Thankfully, the rain arrived and the river has come up a lot.
We started fishing and Kastine confirms right away what I've always said. These fish take well on rising water.
When you lose a fish like that, it's actually the best natural release because the fish hasn't been played very long at all. There's no handling of the fish, and I got my fly back, so it's not all that bad. And now I'm going at it again. There's a lot of fish running through this little section. They're not, like, they're moving fish, they're not holding up. So it's hard to convince them to take your fly, but at least it's like really exciting when you see that many fish coming right at you. You know you got at least a half a chance. Feisty little grills.
It is, very.
That, I cannot believe that never got off.
I always wanted to get you.
You got me.
Get you a salmon shower.
She almost got out.
Hold on, let me get the fly right quick.
That was really fast.
That was a fast release.
Oh, that's too funny.
It's beautiful.
That was
to
incredible. Yeah. We are at Big Falls in western Newfoundland.
Probably one of the most prolific salmon rivers in the world. It's simply amazing. You got the falls, which it's its namesake, Big Falls, and tourists come from all over the world to watch the salmon jump that falls. Is pretty spectacular. The falls at its maximum height is probably 12 or 14 feet, and you can actually watch salmon jump the whole thing and land on top. So it's pretty incredible. Anyone
Yeah.
with a bucket list, this should be on it if you're into Atlantic salmon. I've been fishing here most of my life. I think I came here when I was, the first trip, I'm maybe a year old, and I've been back every year since.
Yeah.
So I grew up here. My family and my dad's favorite river, so he always took his holidays every year, and this is this is where we ended up, much to my mother's chagrin. Because traditionally, it seemed like every year when I was a kid and we came here, it wasn't like hardtop campers or travel trailers then, it was tents. And it was 5 kids, and my mom and my dad. Well, you know what fishermen are like. My dad would spend all day on the river. We had 2 boys, me and my younger brother. We'd be wet immediately. We'd come down and get wet. But usually it rained every day. It was like walking on a waterbed in the camp. And Mom, God love her, I don't know how she did it, she would try to keep us dry, feed us, keep us warm, and Dad would fish. It was, and I don't think my mother actually came back this year, and I think it's her first time back in 30 or 40 years, because she just said, I'm done, I can't do this anymore. So when we got a little older, and then it's just been my dad and my brother, mostly we come together. So
You don't get as wet anymore either.
and we definitely don't get as wet. No. Like go there with your cast, or go across and do a mend because there's a good current.
Okay.
And you see all this, where this little curl of water out here?
Yes.
That's a big rock. And that's usually when your fly gets out around that, you're in. That was fortuitous. When the river is healthy and cold and the fish are plentiful, it's a fisherman's dream.
That fish took so nice.
I know, really
Threw up
aggressive.
all
Eh?
kinds of water,
Yeah.
especially on a wet fly.
Out here. Whoa,
Oh.
nice fish.
Oh.
Whoa.
Okay, I'll try to get
Get his head up so I can see.
get his head
him.
up.
What a fresh fish.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
He's such a hard. Oh, I love barbless hooks.
Oh, I forgot about the current.
Beautiful. That's the way to do it.
That's so good.
That was a beautiful
My God,
fish.
yeah, so strong.
Yeah, the water's so cold right now. That is incredible.
Yeah,
They're really aggressive on the fly, and there seems to be a lot of them, which is
yeah, and there's the coloring on them
So
is so
nice,
nice.
yeah.
Like all the pinks coming
Yeah.
through.
yeah,
They're beautiful.
They're beautiful.
I don't know
job.
if there's another way to describe salmon, Atlantic salmon. They're just, all I say is they're beautiful.
That's all I ever say. It never gets old.
No.
That's one good thing.
He almost got out. Here, I'll take your rod. And I got the net.
There you go.
Lie out. What a beautiful, oh my God, they're so nice. Oh!
Good job.
So this is my absolutely favorite time of the year for foraging. I absolutely love coming into the woods. And the other day when we were fishing here, I spotted a fresh chanterelle patch. So we're back here today. They're bright golden yellow, and it's really important that you know what it is you're looking for before you eat any mushrooms in the woods. So these are chanterelle mushrooms. So today for lunch, we're gonna cook up fresh pasta with a chanterelle cream sauce. I always have a knife with me when I'm out fishing. You just go in and cut underneath the mushroom. When you're looking for patches of chanterelles, you never wanna take all of a patch. So you just go in and take one or two from each little section so that you don't deplete the stock. Kind of like salmon fishing. So we are on the side of the river today, and it's absolutely beautiful out. We're going a little bit above and beyond making up some pasta, but that was just because I knew those chanterelles were there.
Yeah, this meal is going to be great. This is one of our favorites. But I'd be just as happy with a can of mousse and some onions. Works great.
So I'm just gonna mix up some pasta. I've got flour, pinch of salt, and some eggs. These are the sweetest little eggs. A friend of mine, she has a whole bunch of hens, and all the eggs are different colors, so I just love opening the carton because it's like you never know what you're gonna get. And they're the nicest eggs, and the yolks are always such a dark yellow color because of her feed, which makes a nice dark pasta, which is always nice to see. So I've got
every time we open the carton, I think it's Easter.
That's good, thank you. So a little bit of olive oil in there as well, and then we're just going to, it's a little bit of a messy job, but luckily the river is here to wash off my hands. I'm looking for a nice smooth texture here. You just gotta keep moving the dough. So if my dad is coming fishing with me, I always make sure to bring the kettle and a snack because I don't think fishing is fishing if you don't have a cup of tea to put on, and that's definitely his favorite part of the day. So it's become one of my favorite parts as well, and I love just sitting around and sharing stories, and it's also a good way to warm up when the weather is cold. Another really nice thing about cooking on the river is that you never expect it to be perfect. It's really important when you're cooking outside on the river to, if you're using river water, you want to make sure that you bring it to a boil and let it boil for 5 minutes to kill off any bacteria that's in there, just so that you're not, you're staying safe. Just gonna put some garlic in the butter, and the chanterelles are gonna go in there as well. The cream sauce basically just has butter, garlic, chanterelle mushrooms, Parmesan cheese, and cream, heavy cream. It's a really simple meal, very tasty. So I'm just gonna grate up some of this now to throw in with the mushrooms. This can go down a little lower, and we'll throw the pasta in. I have some parsley and chives that I picked from the garden. Yeah, it's done. It's delicious. The big long noodles.
A bit of pasta water won't hurt anyway. It'll only
Sure.
thicken it up. Don't waste it.
Not a single bit. Chives and parsley, a little bit of cheese, and a chive flower for good luck.
How sweet is that? Ready?
Yeah. This looks really good. So the chanterelle mushrooms that we just found out in the woods, fresh pasta, and some herbs from the garden in a garlic cream sauce. We've been waiting since last year to eat this. Yeah, that's good.
That is so good.
For more information on fly fishing in Newfoundland and Labrador, visit tightloopstightLines.com. This is the first river that I ever came to as a kid. So my dad used to get up and go fishing, and every now and then he'd take one of us. And so I came here, but we fished down at Mistaken Point. So there's a bunch of pools along the river. So we fished down further, and that was where I first kind of got into the catch and release part, because he hooked this fish in. And every day when he would go fishing, it wasn't every day that he fished, but every day when he would go fishing, Mom would get the frying pan out and she'd say, all right, bring home supper, and she'd laugh, and he'd go on out to the door. So we always thought like he wasn't a very good fisherman, because he came home every day empty-handed. And it was like, geez, Dad, like, come on, go to the grocery store. But Mom always had something else for supper, so I knew there was something going on. But I came up here with him the first time that I remember, and he hooked a fish and let it go. And I was just like, Dad, like, you've been working so hard for this. And he was like, no, I let them all go. And I was like, oh, there we go. It's not that you can't catch them, it's just that you don't want to keep them. And his thing was always that he wanted us to be able to fish and our children. So it's really nice that I'm here, and normally the kids are here too, and we can kind of continue on that path. So we like catch and release. It's letting us still stay on these rivers today.
Yeah, I can't imagine just catching 2 fish and leaving and giving up. You know, the connection is too deep for that. For
You'd
me,
be so cranky.
I would be. I would be terrible. Yeah, I'd definitely be single.
I'm anchored into a great spot in the rock here. Ooh, shiny.
You ready?
I think so. Whoa! A lot of pressure, but yes, I'm ready. Her fly is out.
Even better.
We'll put her head in the water.
Yep. Okay. Another beautiful female. You ready?
Mm-hmm. I got the net too.
These grills are so friggin' beautiful fish.
She's so pretty. Woohoo!
Good job.
Nice power.
Beautiful release.
Yeah.
Beautiful fish. Took really hard.
Really?
Yeah, just like, wow.
They're
So
so
nice.
fresh coming up here. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Big Falls was a blast. Thanks for swinging flies with us today.